been so slow in reaching those long-term and medium-term solutions for accommodation for all these people arriving?
I wouldn't agree with that now at all. First of all, figures were not expected to be higher, certainly not before the summer. They were not expected to be anywhere near higher levels than we currently have. And the state hasn't been slow. The state has been remarkably fast, I would argue, in terms of responding to a wartime situation, the worst humanitarian crisis in Europe since the Second World War. I mean, we've witnessed the displacement of well over 6 million people. And Ireland, in percentage terms, per capita terms, have responded, in my view, in an extraordinary way, an unprecedented way, in terms of the sheer numbers we've already accommodated. The 55,000 Ukrainians have come into the country. We have a higher number of those seeking international protection, 9,000 so far, and that will continue to the end of the year. So I don't accept that argument. I don't think it's a fair argument. We never before ever had to accommodate so many people in such a short space of time as we have done now, and it's because we're in a wartime situation. There is no other explanation for it. We will continue in terms of building additional capacity and doing everything we possibly can in terms of this issue. And this is Europe-wide. You can visit other capital cities. Other countries are experiencing similar situations. Some countries have had people in tents for quite a long time because of the sheer numbers fleeing war. So I think that this is not just an Irish phenomenon. It is a European-wide phenomenon, unfortunately. So we certainly will do everything we can to speed things up and get more accommodation into play.
Taoiseach, in March, when this, there were warnings both to you, to Cabinet, to ministers, that there could be between 100 and 200,000 refugees arriving from Ukraine.
But we don't have 100 or 200,000 now.
But it's the case that you were warned that that number could arrive. So the argument is that you failed to prepare for that eventuality.
I think that's not a fair argument. Just because somebody said there could be 200,000 doesn't mean you magic up 200,000 spaces overnight.
You try and prepare for it, you know?
But we do, and we've done, and we have. I mean, we've accommodated 55, well, close to.
In July, you were warned that 33,000 more could arrive.
Yeah,
and that was at a stage when there was 43,000 in the country. So
yeah, no, I think you're making 2 points. 2 points. That's why I think people are making various estimates. We can all estimate what's going to come in. It doesn't mean you could just immediately provide accommodation to cover that. We are in an unprecedented situation. I think you should acknowledge that. And it's not. And I think the country has done well. And I think the Irish people have done well. I think we will have to again move faster to see what we can do in the coming while to accommodate increasing numbers. And actually, for periods, numbers actually, the rate of people coming in went down for quite a while because things had stabilised. We know that. So let's be fair all round here now. And what's clearly happening now, there's an intensification of the war. It's taking a very nasty turn, and civilians are now the targets in an increasing way. And worse again, the energy infrastructure, so heating and basic that which makes life possible for people is under attack in a strategic way by Putin. And Putin has weaponized migration. He's weaponized energy, and that is the hybrid warfare that he wages, and it's having an impact. And like any other country in Europe, we're under pressure as a result of that in terms of accommodation.
There are considerations, I believe, that